It's not my most favorite job to do on the farm. I disagreed on the natural light. I said, this is just a shed to hold something, but I was vetoed on that. I was thinking I'd be cute, load up some block and bring it over here in the truck. Yeah, I thought wrong.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. As you can see, we are driving in our car or truck right now, and we are heading to the hardware store. And why are we doing that, Matt?
We are going to the ferreteria. We're going there because I need a little more steel. The block's going up pretty quick, so I have to get the steel so that I can keep working today, keep going up. And then also I have to put in my order for sand, rock, and cement so that I can start to make my own concrete, because I have a lot of fills to do on this particular job. So I'm gonna need to do that. It's way too expensive to order the bags of concrete. And then also I'm probably gonna be at about 3 to 4 yards that I need. And that's I had enough time getting the truck back there, and the truck's not gonna wait there for me to put it in buckets and dump in anyway. So I'd have to bring a pump truck out, and that would be way too expensive. So I'm just gonna get all of the ingredients that can just sit to the side. Doesn't matter if they get wet, and then I'll be able to mix them in later. Also kind of learn that skill, and then having concrete that's a little more mobile on the property. And then also it's gonna help me to finish up this project. So I gotta get that order in so that I can get that real quick, because I hope to have, if the weather stays good, all my block laid up today.
So if you haven't seen our past episodes, we are currently working on our solar and battery setup, and we are making a building for our laundry and our batteries to be solid, waterproof, hurricane proof, good to go for a long time.
Yup. This ferreteria's got a lot of good stuff, and I'm hyped because it's way closer to the house. So I came this way. Normally I go the other way, but I've been trying to drive up this way to see what I really want to do. All right, so I got my steel, my rock, the rock, the sand, the cement. I got everything ready to go. They're gonna bring it mañana.
We got the goods.
Got 'em.
Alright guys, we're back at the work site. It's been a couple days because it's been non-stop raining. We haven't been able to catch a break, so we did buy some supplies. We got a door, that's really exciting, and we did pull the trigger on some windows. If you guys didn't know, we were going back and forth. Matt kind of wanted to make a warehouse type of place with no windows and just put a light in there, and I said we need some natural light. We might need some breeze coming in there when you have a dryer and all that. So we got windows. We don't know how to use them or put them in, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's gonna be my first jaunt into doing doors and windows and figuring out how that gets applied into a block building, but it should be relatively straightforward. They're just squares that you put in and open up. Yeah, I disagreed on the natural light. I said, this is just a shed to hold something, but I was vetoed on that and said, we're just gonna do some natural light. Plus, I think it's a good opportunity for me to learn how to do a window. They had some pretty cheap windows at Home Depot, so it's good for me to learn how to do that in a situation that's not super high stress or super important. So we do these projects so that we can learn and develop our skills. So I had to take my own advice and say, okay, you're right, fine. Let's put in a couple windows and a big vent so that we can learn how to do it. And then once we know, we'll know forever. So we're not ready for doors and windows just yet. As you can see, I'm running into my half block scenarios, even though I'm gonna pour these corners as solid columns. It's hard to lay the block when you have to overhang part of one. So that's not really working for me. So I still have to cut some of these block. Luckily, the old Craftsman circular saw makes pretty quick work of it. And so I'm gonna chop some of these blocks in half so I can lay the rest of this, I don't know what it's called, a line of levels or blocks, or I don't know. There's a name for what these levels of blocks are called, but I'm gonna lay it out up to here, this is about where our window's gonna go. Our window's gonna go over there. So I'm gonna lay out a bag, cut a bunch, lay a bag, and then start bringing in my implements to see where exactly they're gonna fall.
We're gonna move some block out of there so he's not so contained in the dust.
All right, so now I got my half pieces that I can start running the rest of these levels here. And yeah, now I can just rip it. All right, I forgot I had a couple short pieces of steel coming up. I've done that in the past where I've laid the block and I just have a little tiny stump, and then it's hard to get your twister in there to tie it up. So I finished up a couple short pieces of steel. Now I'm ready to start with my mix. Good mud there, boy.
All right, we got the door out.
Yep, this is where the door is going to be. So I'm gonna have to go a little bit higher with the block than I initially had wanted to.
The door's taller.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go bigger with the overall building. I wanted to go not much higher than here, but I don't think that slant will make it with the door. So I got to...
We got the shortest door too.
Well, all doors are about, yeah, this shortest one. They do make taller ones for more luxurious sheds. But yeah, I could move this all the way to that side and then not have to build it as high. I think we should put it over there.
We could. It doesn't have to go in the middle. All right, boys and girls, here I was thinking I'd be cute
load up some block and bring it over here in the truck. And yeah, I thought wrong. This little 2x4 Toyota Tacoma is you know, not the best driver in this sort of slick mud. Should have been illegal for them to sell me that truck in Puerto Rico. Y'all should have known better, but it's my fault. Hopefully when I get that block off, I'll be able to jump her out of there. So I didn't think driving the truck over here was going to be that big of a deal, but as you can see, the one spot that I pulled into with the tire was the only wet spot, and it was kind of down in a hole. The ground was dry all around, but I made a mistake and I went in the one spot, and the Tacoma has zero grip on those tires. So I tried a few different techniques. I tried to just get some gravel and some sand in there to dry up the dirt a little bit, because I didn't need to go far. I just needed to move about a foot. I took some old concrete chunks and I banged those in there with a rubber mallet, trying to get just the tiniest bit of grip, but again, it was not working. I tried a little tiny strap and that didn't really work. I did it the wrong way and I couldn't get good leverage on it here. I put the little ratchet under the bumper so I could hardly move, which was dumb. I should have put the ratchet closer to the tree. But my camera did die shortly after this, but I went and got a bigger strap and I was able to put a little more crank on it and able to yank her out of there. So everything ended up fine, just cost me a couple hours. All right, so we got her going pretty good. I got the window sill framed up. It's gonna get concrete poured in there. I'm not sure if that's how you do it, but I'm thinking I'll put steel on each side and pour concrete in there, and it probably shouldn't go anywhere. The only thing I'm worried about right now is a cat climbing up there and trying to knock it over. It looks a little funky on this GoPro, but I promise it is level. I checked it 1,000 times. So now I'm faced with the problem of getting more block over here. It's dried out a little bit, but we're gonna see. I hate getting that truck stuck, but the strap worked, the big strap worked pretty well, so I'm not too apprehensive. I should be able to get her out, but I'm gonna load her up with block and we're gonna get the block over here so we can hopefully get this done. I'd like to have all the block laid today. If the weather cooperates, I think that should be well in hand. right, so that went pretty well. I had a little slippage, but it ain't too bad. So even though it's not my most favorite job to do on the farm, I'm gonna keep moving block while the block movement is good. I think if I get 100 more block over there, I'll be able to finish it out, and whatever little bit, 5, 10 more that I'll need, I'll be able to wheelbarrow. So a couple more loads and I'll be good to go over there, and I should be able to rip it. It ain't too late today. I think it's just a little bit afternoon, so we ought to be able to get her done.
What's up, y'all? I know y'all didn't forget about me. Anyway, this college boy said, I can't reach Cooley. I need your help. So I came out here to help this little soft boy with some block.
All right, so before I teach y'all before I show y'all how much work we got done on the battery house, I gotta share some information with you about Crash, because it's his birthday and he's all riled up. So you can see by Crash, he lost his 2 bottom teeth, and with goats, that means he's going into his 2nd year of being alive. So it's a happy birthday for Crash. Say it in the comments. Happy birthday, Crash, you sweet, sweet boy. And yeah, that's one thing. Whoa, 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 whoa.
He's so sweet.
He's such a sweet baby. He's fired up because it's his birthday and he's a big boy now. So he doesn't like getting pushed around. So anyway, that's what happens with goats. On their first year, they lose their 2 middle teeth. And then the next year, they lose the 2 outside from that. And then so on every year, they keep losing 2 until about 5 years old. Ow! And then they...
Watch your elbow.
He's sorry. He's sorry. But yeah, until they're about 5, and then once they're 5, you kind of got to estimate how old they are. And you can kind of tell by how far apart their teeth go, but diet and dental health can, he's mad, can show you, you know, it can vary quite a bit after that first 5 years. But the first 4 to 5 years are easy to tell. He's mean. All my goat professionals out there, I know they're going to say, oh, that goat's mean to you, but he's supposed to be mean. He's got to fight off dogs and stuff out here, so you got to keep him mean.
Luckily, he's just a mini goat.
Yeah, if he was big, I'd be in trouble. So as you can see, this tree behind me has fallen down. I'm trying to go as slow as I can. Clearly, I'm gonna have to remove the foliage that's tall because it's gonna shadow my solar system here. I hate just cutting them down, but I try to wait to build it to see exactly what gets shadowed, and that tree had to go down. This fern is gonna have to go down as well, and probably that big Sacrocrium. The Sacrocrium tree will come back. You can cut those off, and I know that those bounce back and they still work, but I hate losing those because those are super fun trees. A lot of you guys thought that was an iguana in a video before, but it was just one of these leaves. They fall down and it just looks like an animal fell. Y'all thought it was a monkey, y'all thought it was an iguana, but it's good for the baby girl goats. They're loving eating it, so there's a benefit to it, and it will grow back as well, but it'll take probably 3 or 4 months before it's got foliage back again.
Oh boy, I see a little home coming along. We got window holes and door holes. How do you feel about it?
I feel good. Everything's pretty solid.
It's nice and tall, so you didn't do the hobbit hole.
Yeah, I went taller. Not that I love it, but my loving wife told me, let's build it a little bit taller, and I said, okay. Just makes everything harder for me.
No, so now you can do a good door. You save time.
I'd rather just cut the bottom foot off that door and made it smaller.
Ew.
Because I'm gonna have my solar on the other side. So what I was thinking about was when undoubtedly I have to fix things or take things down for hurricanes, I wanted to be in a reach up and fix it. But now I'll be in a, I have to drag a little step stool around and do anything I want to do. But who cares? Because I'm sure Kristen will walk over here and look at this all the time once we're building the house, and all of these things that are important to her now will remain.
Are you piping up?
They will remain important to her. But either way, so now what I have next to do is make my wood forms to finish up the door and the windows, and then I pour the concrete in there. So I'll be putting a little bit of steel in here, wrapping it around, pouring it in so it stays one solid piece. And then on the top, I have a good slant for where my panels are going to go. And it's going to be really nice. Over here, it's going to be good. I'm thinking maybe washing machine, dryer, inverter, charge controllers, and batteries across there. It's far enough away from that window and far away enough from that window so that if a hurricane comes and blows everything down, none of my electricals will get wet. So yeah, gotta form up the sides, then I'll put a roof on, and then we'll be good to go. So it's gonna be, I'm thinking probably 2 weeks from now.
Which means probably 6.
Well, yeah. The rest of this stuff can get over here pretty easy though. The roof will go on a little bit. I can just carry everything over here, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, let's call it 2 to 6 weeks. I'll have power, which, what do we got coming up? We got Thanksgiving coming up, so we'll miss time for that. But I'd love to have power, have, you know, everything set up and be ready to go by then. That's what I'm shooting for, and that's what I'm going to get done. Thanks for watching this video. If you want the real-time updates, you can slide over to Patreon and check that out. You know, we got big things coming. The farm is rolling, rocking, and moving. This is going to be the big game changer once we have a heartbeat on the farm, a power source. Then we'll be able to run pumps and get a little more into the agriculture end of it and start to be able to feed our family. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, throw it a comment, and we'll see y'all next week.